wants to do it again.
Mike's leaving, switch on. See, I've been paralysed by the technology. I go away for 2 days and I forget what to do. My apologies. This is all in video. This is all in the outtakes.
That's good. We'll keep it on the website. That would be good. Thanks, Jackie. My name's Amanda.MOV, and like Jackie said, I'm from Iron Brats. And just to start out explaining myself a little bit, you might wonder what that means. Iron Brats is a not-for-profit arts organization that works with early career creatives, so artists, designers, writers, filmmakers, costume designers, all kinds of different folk. And we got our name, we started about 2.5 years ago as a kind of putting art shows on in people's living rooms kind of thing. And the girl that I started it with, her name was Jessica Ironside, and I'm Amanda Dobrat. So we mashed them together. We thought it sounded really tough and North American, decided to stick with it. So that's how we have our name, and that's kind of what we do. And I kind of feel a little bit like a sham today too, I have to tell you. I'm by no means a social media expert, but what I'm going to do is share with you our case study about how we use social media to continue what we do in our physical space. So we kind of try to bring our ethos online and share that with people publicly. So one of our main objectives as Iron Brats is to provide a kind of safe community for young creatives to work in and to provide them with professional development opportunities. So we do things like put on big exhibitions together. We do show and tell nights where people can come and talk about their work. And we try really, really hard to make a really positive and welcoming community. So all of our studio spaces they're probably about the size of this stage actually. They're really quite small, but they're all open plan so that nobody can hide themselves away and lock the doors. It's kind of that continuing an art school feeling. And we really work hard to make sure that everybody's connected and together and feels like, you know, it's a nice little family thing we got going on. And that's one of our most important things that we try to do. So I've got a list of notes here so I don't forget to tell you anything important. The other thing that we really try to do is to create a sense of diversity amongst practice. So like I said, we've got people who have just released their first novel, we've got painters, we've got web designers, a couple of other creative businesses, and that's really important to us too, is sort of highlighting that in our sector in Glasgow, there's an idea, I think, that there's one kind of thing that you can do, but we're trying to sort of show people that there's lots of different ways to practice creatively. So when we use social media, it kind of just became organic because they're just like, oh, do you have a Facebook page? Because nobody wants to know our website anymore for some reason. So we started just kind of doing things because we felt like we had to. And the first thing we did was set up a Facebook page, which we found really, really difficult to get people to engage with because I'm, like I said, no means an expert, but it felt like you could only invite people who were already your friends. So it didn't provide us a lot of scope for sharing what we were doing with people that we didn't already know. So we tried that for a while. We set up a Twitter account, but didn't really know what to do with it. I don't know if any of you have felt like that when you've taken your first steps. We're like, okay, so we're here and we have 140 characters, and that doesn't seem like very much. So we were just kind of watching for a while and eventually found that we could start to share things that we liked from other people, which is, I suppose, the natural thing to do. But it was also kind of felt natural for us because that's what we try to do in our physical space and in our physical events as well. We're always sharing our work, so we thought we'd share other people's work. That made a lot of sense. And one of the main things I think, which is probably maybe why Jackie asked me to come and talk to you, is that in the space one of the things I'm most proud about what Iron Brats has managed to do is to get a lot of people who wouldn't normally know each other to actually become friends. And I know that sounds like really soft and airy-fairy, but it is really one of the most important things that I'm proud of. And so online you can see how that happens in the space. So people are always saying, oh, hey, do you want to catch a movie? Or do you want to come in for a drink to the studios? And for me, that is really, really powerful because it shows the public actually what our ethos is without us having to invite people in. So it's kind of highlighting all of those relationships and the support that we give one another, which again, for me has been the most kind of important thing. And I think I don't really have much else to tell you than that because, like I said, I don't have any tips. I don't know how we did that. It's just kind of happened. But people have started to really notice us and start to follow us, which has, again, led to us being asked to do other things and sharing our experience with more people. So I don't know, I can't recommend a strategy or any kind of top tips like that. But I think if you kind of find a way to work with social media that works for what your business ethos already is, it can be really powerful and really useful. So, thanks. Sorry, all that hassle.